Back. I recognize now the sponsor of the resolution, Mr. Good.
Thank you, Madam Chairman, and I move to strike the last word.
You're recognized for 5 minutes.
On Monday, President Biden's secretary said, if you buy a car, you're expected to make the monthly payments. If you buy a home, you're expected to pay the mortgage every month. That is the expectation. And I agree, and I'm sure that most of my colleagues do, and we should apply that same logic to the issue at hand today. If you take a loan from the taxpayers of America to go to college, as I did, as my children have done, you are expected to pay it back, as I did and as my children are doing. President Biden doesn't understand this common sense issue. He has wielded his executive power to inflict more financial harm on the American taxpayer through this $315 billion student loan transfer scheme. And that is transfer scheme in terms of transferring the debt to the taxpayers who did not incur the debt. 60% of the constituents in my district don't have a college degree. Yet the Biden administration wants them to pay for the education of others who are projected to earn more money than those who did not get the college degree. I'm proud to be the sponsor of this resolution of disapproval under the Congressional Review Act to hold President Biden accountable for his reckless, unfair, unlawful, unconstitutional student loan proposal. Simply put, President Biden does not have the authority to transfer student loan debt to the taxpayers and to unilaterally spend $315 billion without an act of Congress. His plan to make college free was not able to pass Congress even when the Democrats had total control of both houses and the White House. So he has unilaterally tried to act by executive decree. That is not America. That is not our constitutional republic. Federal involvement in higher education has done nothing to bring down the cost of college. In fact, for every dollar increase in student loan subsidies, colleges simply increase their tuition by 60 cents. Across the country, more than 92% of all student loan debt comes from federal loans totaling over $1.6 trillion. And this debt is held by just 13% of the population. The federal government is creating a culture of irresponsibility and dependency in this next generation. And the federal government's pause of student loan payments has already cost hardworking Americans an estimated $195 billion just over the last 3 years. I encourage everyone to support this resolution. The student loan transfer scheme doesn't make the debt go away. It shifts the cost from borrowers and transfers it to hardworking American taxpayers. Congress must act to stop the unilateral and unconstitutional actions of President Biden that are exacerbating the higher education financial crisis. So I thank the committee and the chairman for holding this markup, and I urge my colleagues on both sides to vote in favor of this resolution and support this common sense legislation. And I yield back.